good morning, everybody. We're having fun this morning already, man. It's going to be maybe a slow... I just noticed my brother's got a tell, everybody, if you haven't noticed. If you're playing poker with my brother, he does this burp whenever he's got a bit of a tell. So easy money if you want to play a little poker with McBride.
Most people pick like this or like this or like their eyes start shaking.
Will vomits in his mouth. That's his tell.
For me, it's a guttural burp.
It's all right. It's gonna be maybe a slow day today, but we'll still bring up the disclaimer. Everybody, be a little careful out there. Option trading is risky. We are only giving you ideas. We're not telling what to do. You need to do your own research. And Will's done a little bit of research today, but it's slow today, right, man? This is traditionally after Turkey Day.
It is, absolutely. It's slow. A lot of retail conversation. I mean, the news media seems to be marketing Black Friday. You get any Black Friday emails there?
I already got 30 emails in my inbox this morning, man, already. Like, it's game on. Honestly, I don't even know why people even bother. How are you going to cut through that noise? It's got to be tough trying to sell on a Black Friday.
I did get one which really interested me, was Verizon.
Oh, yeah? What are they doing for you?
Oh, well, the phones are like 20% off today. I have two children who are about to hit the age that they need a phone. And so this Christmas is when we got our oldest. So I'm thinking about getting the phone. So I may be heading over to Verizon today. So keep an eye on
the money's not in the phone, man. The money's in the plan.
No, that's why I said don't keep an eye on Apple. Keep an eye on Verizon.
Verizon, let's see.
Verizon's been holding steady. Where is Verizon? It's just off its 52-week high. Well, it's right there. I mean, this stock has been an absolute bull.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still got a real low PE.
Well, it's just
under 8.
These telecoms. It's a glorified monopoly up there in the States. Me as a capitalist, I shake my head. U.S. government really. I don't know why they don't just open this thing up, man.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, how could you not, dude? How many providers do you have for internet service at your house right now? How many do you have to choose from?
2.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I
have more options here in Costa Rica. And 5 years ago, we had one service provider, which was the Costa Rican government. And I have at least 6 options right now. You have 2. And you are in Philadelphia, one of the, 30 minutes out of one of the largest metropolitan areas.
Wait, you have 6 options for internet?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Right now. Why is that, dude? Why is that?
It's the licenses.
It's the licenses, exactly, dude. Why do we need licenses? Why can't you and I start? It's the same infrastructure. Why shouldn't we be able to lease the infrastructure just like everybody else, 10 others, 20 others, 30 others, 50 others, and sell our services at discounted prices, man?
It's a very good point. Very good point.
Why? Because whoever owns Verizon, which is you, me, and everybody else who owns Verizon stock, is happily enjoying, an increase in our stock price and valuation based on a monopoly. It's a monopoly, dude. It's wrong.
Is Facebook a monopoly? They're thinking yes or no.
Facebook, it's not a monopoly because I could literally start up a Adam's social page tomorrow. In that way, it's not. Kind of like Google. Google's not either, right? You and I can both start up a search engine, right?
And other people have, and obviously there were other search engines as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say actually Google is a bit more of a monopoly than Facebook, believe it or not. Only because they've used through AI their position smartly they get better data because they're churning through all that. More people use it. It's just the self, what do they call that? the virtuous circle where you get more people use it, therefore they get better data, therefore more people use it. And it's basically at that point with AI, it's impossible to compete, which is incredible, but it literally is impossible to compete. I mean, you just look at what's going on with voice. Nobody, Apple and Amazon, the two biggest competitors in the voice space to Google, and they're not even close, right? Why is that? It's just because Google's had, 10x more searches on their platform than Amazon has, right? And so their AI is just better. That's my 2 cents, man. But Verizon, it's a cable line, or it's a line into your house, right? Why can't that line be rented by any company and why can't I start up an internet provider outside of Philadelphia?
It's a hell of a point, and I don't disagree with you. Would you get better service? Probably, right?
How could you get worse? Is it possible to have worse service? You ever try to call Verizon? Holy smackers, man.
You ever try to call Facebook?
Dude, you ever try to call Google?
let's say your Google email address gets hacked.
Yeah.
And you can no longer access it.
Yeah.
What's your option?
Oh, your option right now, if you don't know this, you should set up in Google, you can set up there's two things. One is you want to set up the 2-part login, which is like you get the thing on your phone with the Google Authenticator. You should absolutely do that right now if you have a Gmail. The second is you can set up what they call a recovery email. So you have like your wife's email as the recovery email, right? And that provides a level of protection where if somebody even totally steals it, you basically set the thing into recovery mode and do it that way. So those are two things, two steps you should absolutely take.
So if you don't have a wife, are you able to set up a second email for yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Does the government allow that?
You set up a Hotmail or whatever.
You mean you can
How
set
do I
up
create one of these emails that you're talking about? Am I on my email right now? Hello, email. All right, dude. Enough chit chat, man. What are we doing here, man?
Oh, we're giving good. I mean, all these are reasons to look at stocks. Verizon. I mean, one I looked at today popped up off the feed, and the thing with the feed this morning, and is it Black Friday? Oh my God, there was one of those burps that just came up.
Now heard it, man. And that was it, dude. I'm just gonna cut that out. I'm just gonna replay it again and again. Endless loop, man. Endless loop.
You could create a rap video off of that. So, I mean, I love seeing Boeing still go. I mean, I don't love it, but that was something we talked about, and that
you
trend
love when
has
you call something out, and you called that one out, and here we are. What do we got? 9 days in a row of downtrending.
And it's been a terrible thing since that incident. But there were a bunch of retail stocks that continue to trend lower. Tapestry is the old Coach. I mean, they're just TPX or TJX, TJ Maxx. But this Dollar General is one that's interested me because look at how high this stock. I mean, $117. Anyone who doesn't know Dollar General, but this sits in a lot of markets where there are no other, where Walmart hasn't entered. Basically, they're like a mini discount dollar store type, but they also sell food, car supplies. They sell just about everything. So I did a search for the bear put spread,
which is interesting because Dollar General, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they in the kind of like if the economy goes bad, they do better sort of space?
You think they are? Yes.
I mean, if retailers are getting beat up, it's interesting that Dollar General is one of them.
In a sense, they are in all the markets where people have a dollar to spend, and not a lot of not urban markets, but more rural markets. They fill a spot where Walmart maybe closes its doors and there are no other retailers. They'll go in and get a kind of like a little bit like Ollie, who we talked about last week, or was it just on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But they get very favorable leases. They're in downtrodden markets, and they've had a tremendous bullish run. But it's something, everything's due for sell-off. It's obviously been down numerous days in a row. And there are a lot of spreads to look at with nice cushions and nice returns over the next 20 some odd days if you think these retailers, and this is one, doing your research, that you want to take a bearish position in. The next thing I looked at was unusual option volume. And this was something that I just wanted to walk through, looking at the process of selecting a stock that has unusual volume. And I searched by earnings. Mm-hmm. And this Coupa Software Incorporated popped up. Next thing I looked at was another thing. The vol had changed. It was in 4%, now almost 5%. What I found interesting about that, so it has unusual option volume.
Why don't you show the people, just so everybody knows, you can go to MarketChameleon.com, follow along. Show people how you got to that page, what you click on to get to that actual page.
Yeah, it was screeners or options and then unusual option volume.
Gotcha.
And then I searched by earnings to get the next closest earnings date. So that to me means, wow, that looks like the actual volatility of the stock is coming in going into earnings. So even though it was unusual volume, it wasn't people buying it. Right. It was people actually selling it. So I'm thinking to myself, why is this going on? So I clicked, and first I looked at the skew, and you see the skew had been high. So people knew it was going into earnings. This was obviously a pop where people were buying the volatility. And then I looked up here and I saw there were unusual patterns. So I clicked on the earnings option strategies, and selling out of the money calls was an 88% winner 7 of the last 8 earnings cycles for an average 54% return. Yep. But it looks like all the selling strategies have a little bit of a tell that would lead people to think, wow, if this volatility spikes going into earnings, I may take it as an opportunity to look to sell some premium, maybe buy some wings for protection. Mm-hmm. But it certainly happens that people with this, when vol spiked 3 days ago, people came in and over the last, and particularly on Wednesday, sold this volatility. And you can see this is the front month. This is now we're on the option chain.
Yep.
This is the front month. So people are looking at that, the same thing we look at Market Chameleon, and saying this is an opportunity to look to sell some options. They sold the out of the money calls, the out of the money puts, and the volatility, has come in everywhere. That being said, if I was to look, I would still look to maybe sell some puts, buy some wings for protection, because this stock has been really beaten up. Whoa.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
But it's just keep an eye on all those things going into earnings.
Yep.
And these were people, obviously, maybe chameleons themselves, taking advantage of what was being shown on, option strategy outcomes around earnings report. These are the features that give people opportunities. And let's see how that plays out on December 3rd. Nice. We'll keep our eyes on that. You got anything else there, brother?
It's a slow day, man. It's the afterbird day. Some people don't even get up for today, man. They just stay.
I had one other bullish item I wanted to show you, which I thought I just did a search of the long bull call spread and bear put spread, and actually one of those companies that created the other search engine, Bing, popped up as one of the options. And this Microsoft, like everything in the market, it's sold off recently. But I just searched by increase in bullishness in the options. I wanted a cushion of 2%, and a bunch popped up, but this was one that going into the holidays, maybe a little bit of a turnaround, but there are a lot of options to look at on the bullish side for Microsoft with a nice cushion and a return over the next 23 days, both in the bull call and bull put spreads. So it was something to look at.
Well, I'll load that into my Zune and see how that goes.
Your Zune?
You remember that, man? That was Microsoft's MP3 player. The Microsoft Zune. You don't remember?
I don't remember the Zune.
Exactly. Nobody remembers, man. It's hard to do, man. Microsoft had struggled, but I think Microsoft's on the right path now. So I like Microsoft long term. I think they've realized what they're good at to a degree and what they're not good at, and tried to stay away from, from the phones and from all that other stuff. They just say, we're out, which I think was smart. They focus on what they're good at, which is, look, I don't know about you, but I pay for a Microsoft subscription of, the 360 service, for Word and Excel and all that sort of stuff every year.
Office, Microsoft Office.
When before before they came up with their yearly subscription, how many times did I buy Microsoft products? The answer is never, right? I never paid for Microsoft. But now that they have that system set up, every year it ticks through for us. We're $100 a year, and it's not some huge amount of money, but $100 a year every year is a whole lot more than zero, right? And I think they've grabbed a whole swath of people doing that sort of thing, and I like Microsoft. Microsoft
long term, you're a Microsoft player, even though Google is starting to get into that space.
Google's getting into it. Look, Google's basically, you and I both use Google too, right? I use Google Google Docs and the whole Google infrastructure. I pay for the premium just like you do. So I have premium for our businesses. That's how we do our emails, is through Google for our businesses. It's very reasonable, $10 per user per month. So actually, you think about it, we have, whatever. In our company, we have, Raw Botanicals, we have, 7 people on it. So I say pay $70 a month for Google. Well worth it.
Wow. That's a significant amount more.
Dude, this is so funny, dude. That is significant. $70. No, it's significantly more than Microsoft. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely what I was saying. That's not insignificant, but it's amazing how you get attached to the mail address. You need it. You need it to run your business. And everyone does.
Look, Google won the email war. Google won it, right? And they won that. Microsoft lost. Facebook is not Facebook. Hotmail.com is a loser, right? Microsoft lost that battle. But Microsoft won in the kind of with Outlook for businesses. They're still a big player there. It's push and shove, win and lose, back and forth. It's a never-ending battle.
I did have a tech loser today too.
Oh,
if you wanted one.
Well, extra super, dude. Are we bringing we're bringing so much value today? What do we got, man?
Surprisingly, on a slow Friday with turkey coming up my throat right now. It's I just looked at a simple downtrend. This is the stock screeners stocks, and just to see if anything popped out at me, and it was this IBM thinking about the cloud and how much they've invested in jumping on the cloud. The cryptocurrency, the blockchain.
Right.
How much they've invested, talking about the blockchain, their ads, and just how we've looked at Overstock, which is a retailer that has become a pure play for that space as well, and how their stock has performed.
Right.
I don't know the exact numbers at IBM, but they've certainly promoted it in their ads and, what they're trying to do with the blockchain. Mm-hmm. And if you look also at the option flow, it's been pretty negative too. It's very bearish right now.
Yep.
Like all the stocks in the market, they got hit. Do they have more that they could give up? Could be. You do a search of the bear call, bear put spreads, and there are a lot of options. And then if you think IBM could run lower through the holidays, there are a bunch of options there if you want to be lean to the short side in IBM.
Well, I know people who work for IBM, and it is, they're trying. I say that they're trying, but this is an old company with some old ways. I don't know. They're trying to remake that company. It's hard to do, man. It's hard to change these big companies. You get all those layers of bureaucracy and people, and it's hard, man. But they're trying.
Are they trying?
Good luck, IBM. I don't know whether or not. You look at it and you think about IBM, and they were able to remake themselves, the 80s and 90s, and somehow save that business. And they're trying to save it again. I think they're up against the wall again. But who knows, man? Maybe they pull it off. Good luck, IBM.
Could be. I mean, it's coming off a it's every. I mean, it's had a huge run, but since then, every rally has met with a little bit of a sell-off. So just keep an eye on it.
Good stuff, man. All right, everybody.
Thank you, brother.
I hope you guys have a great day trading. Stay safe. Remember, links down below if you want to join us on MarketChameleon.com. You can sign up, try a 7-day free trial with us, and see all the awesome data and analytics. Appreciate you watching. Thanks. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Love you, chameleons. See you Monday.